Hi, Ali. How are you?
Hi, Janet. I'm good. How are you?
Doing fine. Thank you. Congratulations on being part of this Marvel universe. How does it feel to be part of this universe?
Oh, amazing. I think what's the most amazing part of it is that this is actually my second role in the Marvel universe. So to not have just one character, but two so far in the Marvel universe I pinch myself every day. It's such a dream.
And talk about your character, Haruka, here, and what do you admire about her?
Oh, I love playing Detective Haruka. She is so filled with strength. I love that I really, when I'm looking for roles, not only do I look for just the amazing cast that we have, but also I love playing women that are maybe underrepresented or undervalued in some way. And I love being able to bring that heart and strength to the role. So I love everything about her. I think she's so fierce, and I love how she kind of discovers her voice and her values and what they mean throughout the season.
Were you familiar with the comic book Hit Monkey before?
I was not familiar with it. And once I got educated, I was like, Hitmonkey is awesome, like and I think people are going to really fall in love with Hitmonkey because you think about a monkey as the lead character, wow, what an interesting take. But I found myself falling in love with Hitmonkey because he's so uniquely himself. And even though he doesn't speak in a language that we understand, you really get what he's trying to come across, the emotion in his eyes, the way that the choices that he makes. He's such a fun character, so it was a fun show to be on.
What makes being part of a TV animation exciting and challenging?
Oh, so much. I love doing voiceover. I think it really reminds me and takes me back to the reason why I love performing in the first place, because you don't get anything to see. You just walk into a room, you get a script, and you've got to kind of make up choices on the fly. And for me, it feels very much like when you're a kid again and you're just using your imagination for your dolls or whatever. So I really enjoy those parts of it, but challenging in a sense that we recorded a lot of this during the pandemic. And that was, a new world where we're learning how to run sessions on Zoom. And thank goodness for my fiance, who's Filipino.
Oh,
And he is in music. And so he had a lot of equipment at home. And so I found myself, putting my head in these boxes and, recording off of Zoom. So that was challenging.
so your Filipino boyfriend is cooking for you Filipino food or something?
Always. Okay, so sinigang is my favorite probably meal of all time. He cooks that all the time. And then obviously for the holidays, we always do lumpia, and he's always making adobo. Like, what else do we like? The ube cakes. And yeah, I definitely, I know my way around Filipino cooking for sure.
Have you been to the Philippines?
I have not. I'm really excited to go at some point. It seems like he's been a few times in his life, and he always, everyone is so lovely to him, and just he has a great time. So one day I will make my way there.
And Asian parents are very strict with their children on their careers, like they want them to be doctors, lawyers, or accountants. How were you able to convince your parents when you said, I'm going to be an actress?
What's so funny is I'm very grateful that my parents have from day one always supported me. My mom was the mom that took me to every single thing. I started my first musical theater production when I was 6 or 7 years old. And from then I just, I did all of the things, show choir and dance. And her whole life was basically just taking me to different arts programs, which I'm so grateful to her for, because that created such a solid foundation. But yeah, I would say I'm very grateful for them, because they really made me feel like it was possible, and that all the things that I wanted to do was a really viable way of living my life. So yeah, I'm very grateful for that, and very different from other Asian American parents, I would say, like you said.
Mhm. Are you the only actress in the family?
I am, yes, definitely.
How is it growing up in a culture like, I know your parents are Japanese and you're Japanese American? How is it growing up in that kind of environment?
Yeah, you know what I think is so unique about my family and my perspective is that because I am fourth generation Japanese American, my family has been in this country for so long. So I guess the way I approach the world is that I am all American in a sense. And there's so many parts of my culture that I so love being Japanese American. But, like my grandmother was interned when she was 16 years old. And, I think that brought a lot of resilience and strength to my upbringing. My grandmother never let that define her. And so I take so much pride in being Japanese American, as well as obviously in the grander scope, Asian American. And it really means so much to me. And obviously, so excited about where we're headed in terms of representation.
And George Takei is also in the film. So have you ever met him personally?
It's so funny because I don't really get starstruck by many people, but I remember many years ago when he had his animated film come out, I was at a screening and everyone was going up to George, and I was like, Ally, this is your day. You've got to find a way. So I finally snuck my way up to him, and I think I maybe scared him because I was like, George, hi, I'm Ally. It's so nice to meet you. And he's like, hi, how are you? In his big bellowing voice. And we got to take a picture together, which I have somewhere. But that was actually the first time I met him. And, we didn't see each other at all during recording. So I'm always happy that I have that moment that I met him in real life.
You mentioned about being proud of representation, especially in Hollywood. Do you think Hollywood is opening up now more to Asian American actors and giving them more parts?
Oh, absolutely. I think, and this is just the beginning. I think we're finally recognizing our power. We're recognizing how many of us there are out in the world in terms of, with the Gold Open movement that's happening, where we're essentially, buying out theaters and we're all coming in droves to see these movies and support. We had Parasite and, Crazy Rich Asians, and just you see these moments and they're glass shattering for all of us. So I definitely think this is just the beginning. I'm so excited for us all to continue walking into more leading roles in front of and behind the camera. It's really about building that pipeline for the next generation to continue, like you said, to walk into these creative fields. So I think it's very exciting.
Do you have any inspirations in acting, like Asian American actors who inspired you to become one?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I have two. Sandra Oh, obviously one of them. I think her role, Christina on Grey's, just really just broke down everything of, wow, that's who I feel like I am her, and I think so many women felt that way. And that's why her role specifically was so special and important. And then one of who is now a dear friend, Lindsay Price, who I grew up watching on Lipstick Jungle, and, just so many of her amazing shows that she did, is such a friend and an ally to me, and someone that I go to for advice. And, I so admire the women that walked before us so that, we could continue to do what we love.
Do you have any dream roles?
Oh, dream roles. I would love to do a big, high budget adventure comedy. I love the Jumanjis, I just want to do something that is so the world feels very big, and I can have that kind of heightened sense of environment. I got to do that a little bit on Wrecked, and I really enjoyed those parts of myself of playing the grounded reality of it all. But the world feels so big. So I think that would be fun.
And if you would advise your younger self, what would you tell her?
I think just knowing that anything is possible for you. I think growing up, I felt a lot of boxes placed around me, and I just didn't think that a lot of things could ever happen for me. Even in this moment, it's I could never imagine myself being here right now. So I think I would tell myself and any other young person that maybe is doubting what they can do, just know that anything is possible. Just know what your dream is, and really just go for it and take those risks.
Thank you very much, Ali. It was wonderful talking to you.
You
And
too.
good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.